Okay, I have a little bit of a surprise for my family tonight. I decided to work on a little project and they had no idea about it. And so right now, it just arrived in the mail today. And so right now I'm gonna let them open it and see the project. So here it is. I already opened it a little bit, but go ahead and open it together.
Oh, so hold on. Lincoln, can you grab something? What is this? Look! It's the Camp David Adventures logo! Oh my gosh, babe! No!
You guys are official.
Oh my gosh! How long have you been working on this?
It didn't take that long. I found a really cool.
Look, I have a sweatshirt!
Found a really cool website that does it.
What did you use?
The website's called Bonfire.
Bonfire.
Yeah, and they make it really easy, and they allow you to do small orders, custom shirts. You can do all different colors, so many different colors. So I got sort of a sampling of different colors and different sizes so that we could try to figure out what works.
I like black.
The black looks really cool, and I like the navy. I also got some of these slate, like that slate I thought would look really, or is it a green?
Okay.
Is it a green or gray?
Kind of a greenish gray.
Yeah, I really like that one.
I only work in black and sometimes very, very dark gray.
Oh my gosh, babe, I love this. Thank you. I'm covering you up.
And is the logo the right size, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's good. Oh, babe, this is a great surprise. Let's see your shirt. Can you go put yours on?
I'm gonna put it on over this shirt here.
Nice, I love it.
I love it.
Did you put it on over your other shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, pull it down a little bit. No, not the black shirt, the gray shirt. Nice.
Oh, I like that. That's a good size.
Yeah,
Look,
I think
this
it
is this is my size. Right
It's
That's
perfect.
good.
It's the perfect size.
Oh, here's yours.
Woo!
Oh, thanks, babe. What do you guys think?
I love it.
Thank you, babe. Good morning. I am trying to decide if I accidentally slept all through spring or if Mother Nature is just having a identity crisis. Last night the temperature dropped really low and it just started snowing. And to be honest, it has not stopped snowing. And guys, our backyard looks like a winter wonderland. You guys might all of a sudden start learning, I like to name things. I come up with strange names. I rename things. My family has learned to come to accept it and laugh at it. So I am now renaming the month of May. It is no longer just May. I am now calling it May-Brewery, because to me it seems like this should be more like February weather rather than May weather. So I'm combining February and May. We have had a ton of snow. I'm in shock right now, but welcome to May-Brewery, everyone, in Colorado. And this is what May-Brewery brings. This is May 21st. You guys can see it's still kind of snowing. Our poor trees, though, I'm really sad because this was such a heavy, wet snow. It's a spring snow. It has snapped a lot of our branches, and I'm looking out in our backyard, and our poor little aspen tree that's right next to our deck has snapped. We're gonna have to clean that up. When this melts, guys, we're gonna have a lot of yard cleanup to be doing. I am happy because I kept telling Luke, we need to get the sprinklers turned on. And we kept waiting and waiting. I'm glad that we've waited. We still haven't turned our sprinklers on because this would have been bad. But the moisture is good. It's just kind of a shock to all our systems. We end our homeschool in 3 days, and I wasn't planning on ending homeschool in the middle of winter, I guess. So happy May-Brewery from Camp David. Let's take a look at things out here. I'm gonna let the dogs out.
Oh yay.
Zoe's like, I can't get in the yard. Go ahead, Zoe, it's okay. Come on. This tree has completely fallen on our deck. It's quite sad. It was a cute, pretty tree. I loved it. We had hummingbirds come in it, but you guys can look at all our trees. But guys, you can see they're hitting our deck. Can somebody give me Zoe? Come on, Zoe. Come on. You can get through. Go on. Go on. Or Zoe. She's like, what is this? Go ahead. Come on. So we have a downed tree here.
Oh my goodness, look at our fence.
Our fence is all covered up. It looks like probably some branches broke in that tree over there. But you guys can see up there, and we've got several branches down, and yeah, look at the tree over here. Oh, it's all broken. We have a lot of snow, guys. It's something you don't see very often this late in May here. There's a lot of branches broken over there too. It's all on our table. We definitely have our work cut out for us once this melts. Maybrewary, it's the new month. Today is Friday and it's an exciting day around here. Today is actually our last day of school. Even though that we homeschool, we still celebrate the last day of school and the kids moving up into the next grade. So today we have some final exams that they have to take. They'll go through each of their subjects that they do and make sure that we review the material that we've covered this year and that they understand it. So it's been our tradition in the past to have a nice dinner, family dinner, sit down and celebrate, and they find out if they move up to the next grade for the next school year. So that is our day today. I am very happy to say that the weather has finally straightened out. It has been so miserable for most of this week. We had the snow at the beginning of the week, and then all of week it's been in the 40s and it's just been cloudy and overcast. So I am excited to see the sun out today, and that just makes it even more official that summer is almost ready to begin. It has been a really great last day here of homeschool, and I've got our dinner in the oven. I made Luke's favorite chicken roll-ups. And now I am just, while that is in the oven cooking, I am just going to kind of decorate and do some fun little themed, end of year school themed decorations. So just gonna set that up, and then we should be able to eat here shortly and enjoy and celebrate our last day of the school year. Chicken roll-up. Oh, and done.
You need Tabasco sauce.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So good.
This works.
Well, we have some over here to use first. Go ahead and help yourself.
How about you eat some Tabasco? It'll be even more flavor. Well, that lasted.
Lord Jesus, we thank you for this food. We just ask that you bless it. God, thank you for a good school year.
What was the hardest thing to learn?
Ooh, I think I would like to say it would be dividing by a decimal. It took me so long to think through it and remember it and put the right number into the bracket. That took me so long.
Yeah, it was something to do with reciprocals. I don't remember. I could never get that straight.
Do you have it straight now?
Yes.
Yes, so Dad, a reciprocal is a fraction just flipped.
Yeah.
So 3/4
is 4/3.
So think about how far you've come this year. If you know things right now that you, sitting here at the beginning of the school year, you didn't even know those things. Think about how much progress you made.
Wow. That's a lot of progress.
That's a lot.
Now, I think that there's one person that deserves a lot of credit for your progress.
Daddy. Mom!
Mom.
Mom, you deserve a lot, like 100% of the credit
Because
for
you
that progress.
have to understand that as you're learning those math concepts, Mommy's having to learn them to teach them to you. Some of them, because it's been years since we learned this stuff, so we have to learn from the beginning when we try to teach you.
But
Oh
I
my
thought
goodness.
you guys told us to lock it in our brain.
Yeah, we'll see if it's locked in your brain when you're 30 years old.
Ooh.
Lincoln, what was the most interesting thing you learned in history?
I said Ezekiel eating a scroll. Or the way, Archimedes found displacement.
How did he find displacement? What was he doing?
Taking a bath.
Yep. And when he found it, he didn't bother to put any clothes on, and he ran out to the streets to tell everybody he found the meaning of displacement.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guy didn't have a lot of common sense.
Who knew that taking a bath would discover such a phenomenon, huh?
What's the most fascinating thing you learned in science, Kenya?
How a certain type of bird would lay its eggs quickly in another bird's nest and then leave it to raise its young.
Hmm.
And the thing is, that bird would be so selfish that sometimes that its young would cheep so loud that it starved the other birds, her own other birds. And I just thought that was so fascinating. Can't remember the name of that bird, but I do remember what it
Lincoln, what about you?
Mine is that each bird builds a different type of nest. Eagles, hawks, they build platform nests.
What's a platform nest?
A platform nest is, let's say, in a very high dead tree, and that has like a lot of very, very sturdy twigs on the sides of it, or branches. It builds its nest there, so then it's very sturdy.
What other kind of nest?
There's, I forget the name, but
Cup
it's,
nest.
what? Cup nest. There's also nests where it's like a tunnel and there's the cup. So I think that's the cup nest.
Oh, we also learned about aquatic animals.
Right.
Learned about aquatic herbs,
What are aquatic herbs?
aquatic reptiles.
What's the difference between an amphibian and a reptile?
And amphibian.
An amphibian spends half its life in the water and half its life outside the water.
A
A reptile spends its entire life, like the aquatic reptile spends its entire life in or outside. Like a reptile will either spend its entire life outside or inside water.
What are the different categories of classifications of living things?
Domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species.
Oh, what are sharks? Reptiles or amphibians?
Baby sharks?
No! Don't start that.
Baby shark. Baby shark.
What are sharks?
Baby sharks?
Baby sharks.
That's funny.
What are sharks? You were asking either reptiles
Or
or
amphibian.
fish.
Good. What is a fish, Kenya? What makes it a fish rather than an amphibian?
It has gills and it has fins.
What do you call it? Because do sharks, what do you call a amphibian or reptile? Some reptiles and amphibians, even though they lay eggs, what they do is they lay eggs inside their bodies. The eggs hatch inside.
Ovoviviparous.
What is it?
Ovoviviparous.
Please tell me the difference between the term of using fish and fishes.
Fish is for one, it's like the same type of fish. They're like the same breed.
So like,
but it can be more.
like an angelfish. But if there's plural, you just use fish.
Fish,
But
angelfish. Like
what
if
are
it's
fishes
more than
then?
two
So
or
when do
more.
we use the?
Fishes, if it's different kinds of fish, but they're plural.
So wait, let me give you an example. You tell me which one is right. All the fish in the sea, all the fishes in the sea.
All the fishes in the sea.
Right, Lincoln, in history, when Cleopatra presented herself to Mark Antony,
No, you couldn't have asked me this. I've been studying this since second
how
grade.
did she do this?
She rolled up into a carpet and presented herself when he rolled up the carpet.
I don't want to say what I'm thinking right now.
So she rolled herself up into a carpet, had somebody carry her in, and then there she was, right?
Just think, hey.
Out of all the 7 wonders, ancient wonders of all the ancient
All the seven
Wonders of the ancient world.
of the ancient world, which one would you want to see? What is the name of it and why?
The pyramids of Giza. And I would want to see it because some of the great pharaohs, I think it was Imhotep was buried there in the Great Pyramid, the biggest Great Pyramid of Giza. And I am just obsessed with ancient Egypt, and I think it'd be totally cool if we went
And
to
what
see it.
continent do you need to travel to see that?
Africa and in Egypt. I'd also like to see the Nile River and some of the mummies that they have there.
Okay.
I would like to see the hidden gardens of Babylon because I just can't imagine because there's like pictures and everything on it. But can you imagine seeing these hanging gardens and
Lincoln, who created the alphabet?
Phoenicians?
So, today, Daddy, I'm going to just tell you what they had to do. For math, they had a 20-question math test. So there's Kenya's.
I passed. Did you get 100?
85.
Then he didn't pass. I pray I passed. I pray I passed.
So an 85 in math is a
B plus, right? So I passed.
all
Are
right.
there
But
any questions you want to ask her?
that's the yeah. Why didn't you get 100%?
Do you want his math or her other
His
one?
math.
So did I pass?
Hold on, we haven't
Well,
decided
all we
yet.
know is what you got 85% on your math quiz test. Lincoln, 85%. All right, Lincoln, here's your test. 85%.
Okay.
Next subject. Kenya, this is for your, what is this?
History.
History test. How do you think you did?
Really well.
Now, one thing I left for Daddy to grade. I'm proud of them, but I want you to probe a little bit further if you feel like it. Only if you think that they were good answers. They're written answers, which are on the back.
Okay,
Read them.
so hold on. On your, how do you think you did?
Very well.
You got an 85%.
Again?
You feel good about that?
Oh yeah.
You do? Really? You feel good about that?
Yeah.
It's a B. Why not? Why a B when you can get an A?
What? I got 100%?
Yeah?
I passed history! Like A+.
History is your favorite subject, and it's quite obvious.
Obviously.
Okay, read the
You
question.
just had a couple of spelling errors, but that's not a big deal, okay? Answer these questions in complete sentences. Use a separate sheet of paper. What have you learned about the prophets of the Old Testament? And according to the author, who is the mystery of history and why? Okay, and here's what your answer is. I've learned that God sent all the prophets for different purposes, like preparing the people for Jesus. and warning them about their sin and what the punishment would be if they don't stop. But in the end, they were all made to serve God's purpose. That's a great answer. Okay, number 2, the mystery of history is reminding us that history just doesn't happen. Each lesson explains how it was all in God's great plan and how everything we talked about was preparing the people for the things to come. What a great sentence. Good writing. I'm impressed. That's fantastic. 100%. History, 100%. Let's see Lincoln's history.
Can I say it first?
No. All right. How do you think you did, son?
Good.
Good or great?
Good.
You don't think you did great? Okay. Well, you didn't get 100%.
But that's okay.
All right. But you did get an 89%.
Woo! That's an A.
That's a B+.
No, it's a B+.
Good job, though. Okay. You missed 7.
Got a few things mixed
How
up.
many?
7. But there's a lot of questions, so that's right. Who is the mystery of history? You wrote, God is the mystery of history. He is the mystery of history because, comma, it is his story. As in history.
This is what I wanted you to say. See, they can take a sentence and they have to write it in all the 4 different structures, and they
Simple,
have to create
compound,
it.
complex, and compound, complex.
So they start with the simple.
Jesus calls me.
Next.
This one.
Compound, Jesus calls me and I go to him. Complex, Jesus who calls me, comma, lives in my heart, period. Compound, complex, Jesus, comma, who calls me, comma, lives in my heart, comma, and I go to him. Rewrite with modifiers. Add adverbs, adjectives, phrases, and clauses. Jesus, who gently calls me, lives in my joyful heart, and I run to him.
Now,
Good job.
can I say something?
That's
Well,
great.
hold on. I want you to read Lincoln.
Simple. Jesus calls me. Did you give him that sentence? Compound. Jesus calls me and he loves me. Complex. Jesus, comma, who calls me, comma, is generous. Period. Compound, complex. Jesus, comma, who calls me, comma, is generous, comma, and he loves me. Period. Rewrite with modifiers. Add adverbs, adjectives,
This is
phrases,
Lincoln's least favorite
and
part. Because he
clauses.
doesn't like details.
Jesus, who calls me softly, is very generous, and he loves all of us to the ends of the earth. Yay! Good job, buddy. Okay. Here's where I'm gonna start.
Oh gosh, no.
Okay. Where I'm gonna start is
It's a math sheet.
It's another test. All right. Here's where I'm going to start. I can't make a decision on whether or not you can graduate without some input from the person who carried you, sometimes against your will,
Like dragged us.
That's not carry. That's like.
through this whole school year, and knows you best, knows whether or not you're capable of going to the next level in life and in your education. So, before I conclude my decision, I need to know if your teacher recommends you, Lincoln, for graduation. Do you recommend? It's not I'm not saying you have to make the final decision whether or not you graduate. But can you in good faith recommend Lincoln for graduation to the 6th grade?
Hold on. I have to think back on a few things.
Boing, boing.
There we go. Yes, I do recommend Lincoln
All right.
for
Well,
graduation.
I'll take your
recommending.
I'll take your recommendation under advisement. Can you, in good faith, given all the challenges of the year, recommend this person sitting next to me for graduation to the 7th grade, official junior high status, approaching teenager status. Junior high starts in 7th grade. Middle school starts in 6th grade.
Okay, well.
Can you recommend Kenya Reese David to 7th grade?
Thinking back on her year.
Oh no, this is not good.
So there have been moments of interest and joy in her learning and appreciating what she is learning, but then there have been times where she's not so
I
excited.
don't think you're getting a recommendation.
I don't think so either.
But seeing her perseverance and how much she has moved forward, even though the times she wanted to dig her heels in, I would recommend her for graduation.
No, that's just a recommendation. I'll take your recommendation under advisement.
We'll know in 2 weeks.
Now that I have that information and your test scores, I'll need about a week to deliberate before I make my final decision.
What?
Well, I was going to say, you know, you could always have them write a 3-page essay on why they think they're ready to graduate.
No.
That's a brilliant idea. Kenya David, you are officially hereby graduated from the 6th grade and moving on to 7th grade.
Oh boy.
Lincoln David, you are officially graduated from 5th grade and moving on to 6th grade. All right, Lincoln, congratulations.
Thank you. There's one more thing to be discussed.
What?
Whether we're hiring the same teacher next year or if I have been demoted.
You retain your position?
Yes.
Gainfully employed? Oh, Mommy's the best. You guys are so lucky to have Mommy as a teacher.
We are. Look what she did.
It's not just that. It's the things that she did all year to make sure that you guys were successful. And the early mornings of bell ringing consistently, of pledges, of weather reviews, of date calendar reviews, of prayers, of math lessons and science lessons and history lessons and grammar lessons and Bible lessons and an unending amount of lessons and patience beyond what you could ever imagine is needed. Okay?
It really takes a true mother to do that.
She's
And a
done
true
an
teacher.
amazing job. She's the best teacher that
What is
you've
this,
ever had.
3rd year she's taught?
She's the best teacher that you've ever had.
It's been a great last day of school here, and we are now excited that summer has officially begun. And Kenya and Lincoln, congratulations on moving on. Lincoln, congratulations on finishing 5th grade and moving on to 6th. And Kenya, congratulations on finishing 6th grade, and you are now a 7th grader. So guys, we are officially on summer break here, and we are excited for all the adventures that are to come this summer.